Hey everybody, this is Annie Ruth. I am back again with episode 2 of Annie Ruth's Community Art Connections. Now I told you I was doing a survey on episode 1, or at least a commercial, on did you want to do a drum or to create African inspired mask. And as you can see from my background, the resounding we want to do African inspired mask was the winner. So that's what we're going to do today. This is actually a completed African inspired mask that I did during the Lion King project here in Cincinnati back in January. And as you can see, it is actually done with cardboard. Okay. So for those who are not familiar with African inspired masks, I'm not going to go into a deep history of the usage of African masks. I was actually using it from a storytelling perspective. And so really using it, the creation of the mask for young people and even their parents, the parents and the young people work together to be able to kind of dive more into positive self-expression. So I'm going to tell you what supplies you're going to need. We're going to need some cardboard. Okay, it could be anything. It could be, cardboard box. You're gonna need some cardboard. We're gonna need some scissors. Okay, we're gonna need some scissors. We're gonna need to have a glue stick handy, and then we're gonna have to have some liquid glue handy. We're gonna need maybe some paint markers or even some regular markers. I like the paint markers better because, or even paint. You can do the little puff paint too. We're going to need some fabric. I'm actually going to show you the fabric. I'm going to actually make a mask using this particular fabric today. You don't have to have fabric. I like fabric because it kind of accents it. You're going to need some water, of course. Got to have water handy, soap and water for brushes. Newspaper, we're going to do a little bit of paper mache. It actually helps to make the edges smoother. And then, even if you've got some styrofoam plates or saucers around, they're really good to have too in case you need to mix paint or something. Okay, so we're going to get ready to dive into creating African inspired mask. So like I said, the first thing you want to start with is cardboard. Now I actually had two options. This right here is a round cake, a cardboard piece of cardboard that they put under cakes. I got this from like a craft store, or like I said, if you're starting with a piece like this, you can actually make the mask square, or you can make it any shape you want. So what I'm going to do is just draw a quick oval and show you how you would do it. So I'm going to just kind of draw a quick oval using the edges of. So here's my oval, right? So I was just using the edges of the cardboard to be my guide. And since you have, and I just had a Sharpie that I did it with, and the cardboard, because I'm going with the edges, it cuts out really easy. You're almost really just kind of cutting the corners. I'm just kind of showing you really quickly how easy it is to cut the cardboard. And so I'm basically just cutting the corners off. All right, cutting these corners off here, and then I'll show you my finished, here's my finished oval. So the oval starts like that. Now, what I tell people is a good thing to do is to take that same Sharpie and maybe draw what I call a T in it. So draw a T, like a line down the middle of the mask, and then not quite at the top of the middle, like a T, right? Those are my guidelines to get where my eyes are going to go on the mask, right? And so like right up under that, I would actually kind of draw the shapes that if I'm going to cut out the eyes. Now, what works for me, you can either get a utility knife or you can get one of these little box cutters that's at the dollar store. They only cost $1. And you might have it hanging around the house. But it's kind of hard. I would not recommend cutting the eye holes with scissors. Use either a utility knife or box cutter. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to do. Basically what you do is you have, and I have a piece of cardboard under my table, you just take the box cutter or the utility knife, and before you start painting or anything, you just kind of cut those eyes out, and then you're going to pop them like right out of there. Okay, so I'll get that popped out and I'll show you what that looks like. We've got the, and I'm just basically kind of doing, I'm treating it like a mountain in a soup bowl. So I got one eye cut out, and then I like a mountain, right, and then a soup bowl. Alrighty, and then I'll pop that out. And the edges don't have to be perfectly cut, because that's what I'm going to show you the little secret on the paper mache is for. So pretty much, bam, I got the eyes cut out with that. Now, I also do, if I start out with just a blank piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, so oval, I sometimes will actually kind of position where the face is going to go with the eyes and mouth, and kind of position where it's going to go. What I'm going to do on my mask is what I call build up, okay? So build up means that you're taking a cardboard piece, right? And so instead of me, say, drawing the nose on there, I'm going to freestyle it. So what I would do is I'm going to use a triangle. I'm going to cut a triangle out of and I started with just like a little piece of cardboard like this. I'm going to cut a triangle. And that's going to be my nose. Now, when it comes to the glue, if you want to have that glue like instantly adhered, then this is where this little handy dandy thing comes in. A hot glue gun with little sticks. And these only run like about $4. You might have some laying around the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue it so I can have it instantly ready to show you what a build-up looks like. Okay, you guys? Okay, so let me put that down here, and I'm going to put the nose on here, a little hot glue for my build-up, so you guys can see what that looks like. Alrighty, and then I'm going to put this down in the middle. Okay, so here is a buildup of one layer, so with the hot glue. Now, if you notice on this one, on my finished one, I actually have buildups of several layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up one more layer. Okay, and I'm going to show you how that does. I'm keeping with that same theme of triangle, so I'm just going to cut a smaller triangle. Right here, I'm going to grab my scissors, cut a smaller triangle. Okay. Now, all of them don't have to have a build-up, and then I'm just going to take a hot glue on the back of this. I am using the hot glue because I want it to be able, I want to show you some stuff with the paper mache and have it be able to stick instantly. Okay, so I'm going to hot glue this, build up. Alrighty. So as you can see, triangle and then smaller triangle. Now the thing about using triangles are, if you look on the side, see the kind of rough edges on the side? This is where the paper mache comes into handy. So when making paper mache, you're going to, the actual liquid to make it work, you're going to use, like I did with the Mod Podge, you're going to use 2 parts water, 1 part glue. 2 parts water, 1 part glue. So here's some that I have already made up, and I'm going to take my flat brush. Now, for paper mache, you can actually use, and I got my little top of my Cincinnati Herald newspaper, because after I read my Herald newspaper, I don't just throw them away. They make their way into my artwork. So shout out to the Cincinnati Herald. So I'm going to take like a little strip here and a little strip here to show you how to do a paper mache build-up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a little smaller piece, and I'm going to dip this in my little water right here, right? Now remember, I'm doing a build-up. All right. And as I do my build-up, because I want to make my edges smooth, I'm going to actually get my my little brush, because I like to make my build-up smooth. So as I make the build-up smooth, I'm brushing that edge, brushing the edge smooth, so that edge can be smooth and not the rough cardboard. Now, if you're doing something that requires build-up, you need to have a few hours. I would actually suggest maybe work on it for an hour one day, come back the next day, and then work on it another day. You can also do build-up with tissue paper. So you kind of take that, you dip your brush into the paper mache glue mixture, and then you actually brush it. And I'm going to show you guys what the build-up looks like brushed on. The main thing why you're doing this is because you're wanting to get your edges smooth. So here is the build-up where I brush my edges smooth. In this case, when this dries, then you end up painting the whole surface, okay? So this is how you create the build-up. I'm going to fast forward for you guys and move to a mask design where I'm going to use fabric. The build-up and everything is already done. And what I'm going to use now is fabric and the paint markers to bring out. So what I've done, I'm going to switch to one where the build-up is done and it's painted, where I started with a circular one. So see, the cardboard on there is painted, the eyes are on there, the nose is on there, the mouth is on there. And now I'm going to actually take some of this beautiful fabric here, and I'm going to show you how that's done. In this case, when you're using the fabric on top of your painted, you want to use a glue stick. So I'm going to cut myself a little piece of this fabric out. So I'm cutting my fabric out. All right, I'm going to move this off to the side. And I think the first thing that I want to do is start with a build-up on, a fabric accent on the nose, because my nose is actually a triangular shape. So I'm going to start with a fabric build-up, a fabric accent on the nose by simply cutting myself a nice triangle that I will glue down on there. So here's my little piece of fabric that I have. I'm going to take, now this is the correct side, this is the good side of the fabric, and then where you see the woven part, that's the back of it. So you want the glue to go on the back of it. So I'm going to put the glue on the back of this fabric here. There we go. Looking good. Sometimes you got to look really hard to see, depending on what kind of fabric you have, what is the front, what is the back. So I'm putting my nose here. There we go. My glue stick. All right. So this right here, I'm basically starting to cut and paste. I'm going to do one of the eyes, and then I'm going to dive into what I call the marker accent, so you guys can see how that's done too. All right, so I'm going to do, so the eyes are round. So I'm going to actually take my fabric and cut myself a circle. So the easiest way to cut a circle is you take your square, you fold it in half like this, right? And this is where your fold is, right? Got that? So you want to have the fold on the bottom. Fold on the bottom. And then you take and you cut a semicircle. I'm cutting a semicircle. And then, bam! That's how you cut a nice circle. And so I'm doing the eye. So what I'm going to do is I've got a circle. I'm going to do the top of the eye, and the bottom of the eye. One thing I forgot to mention in sometimes creating African-inspired masks, the features are sometimes exaggerated. So the noses and the lips and, you know, are exaggerated. So, and I'll be honest with y'all, I love, you know, nice, full, beautiful noses and lips. So I'm going to actually take and cut this to where I have 2 soup bowls. So basically two semicircles. So I'm gonna glue on the back side of that one, and I'm gonna place it down on the top, and then I'm gonna glue my bottom semicircle. I like to leave spaces in between my top and bottom semicircle when I'm doing eyes. It kind of reminds me of a cowrie shell. So there, my top and bottom eye. Okay, so now I've started. Bam, I've got the top and bottom of the eye. Now I'm going to show you how I would start using the paint marker to accent. Now I love geometric shapes, and I even like circles too. So because I'm going on this design that I'm doing, I'm going with a black and gold theme, then I would actually grab this nice gold metallic paint marker. Now shake it up, because this is actually acrylic paint. I just want to give you the heads up. If you ever use acrylic paint does wash out, but if you get it into something, you got to wash it out immediately. It will wash off your hands without a problem. If it gets in your clothes, that's why I would always suggest wearing a smock if you're going to be using a paint marker or acrylic paint. If it gets in your clothes, wash it out immediately, or you'll have a permanent design on your clothes. Okay, so I'm going to use my acrylic paint marker to do some accents on my design. And I'm just going to kind of accent with circles right now. And so see right there, see how accenting with the marker really brings that design out. So I want you guys to make sure that you stay tuned. I don't want to show you too much step by step by step, because I want you to pull out your creativity. But I'm showing you the basics on how to lay out your design. So let's do a recap. So we're going to choose a piece of cardboard. Some people might want their eyes cut out the cardboard. We're going to use the utility knife to cut out the eyes if we want them cut out. Sometimes it's good to actually have your drawing to where you have put the images on there where you want it to go, particularly if you're using fabric and you're going to glue it down. But with this final design, this is after 3 days of painting and build up, and then actually coming back with the marker accents. Okay? All right. So one more time, I'm going to show you what I'm working on. Just to show you some balance, I'm going to do one more eye before I leave you guys, and so you can kind of see where it's going. And then when I come back with episode 3, I will either post a picture of my finished mask design so you'll see it. But I definitely don't want to finish it now, because I want you all to bring out your creativity in the piece too. So I'm going to do one more eye on here. So when I cut off this video, we can have a nice balanced, semi-balanced face. Okay? All right. So I'm going to cut this. I'm loving this. This fabric actually used to be a piece of fabric that I used for a belt. Like when I would go and have this beautiful black after 5 dressy attire, I would use this fabric to make myself a belt that I would just kind of tie around my outfit. And it's got lots of significance to me. Remember, I'm taking, when you cut a semicircle, when you're making a circle out of the square, it folds at the bottom, and then you cut it like that, round the edges, and then bam, you got your circle, and then I cut it across the middle, like that, and I can tell the back side because I can see the woven strands versus the front side is through like that. So I'm going to put my glue on the back side. All right. And I'm just going to tell you guys, don't worry about, is my design symmetrical? Just have fun. Just have fun. All right, so I'm putting the top lid on that eye. And I'm going to come back and do the bottom lid on that other eye. And then I'm going to show that to you guys. And then I'll probably sign off this video. But if you have any questions about making these masks, like I said, it's always good to use a nice fabric that doesn't ravel too much. Sometimes when you get the metallic fabrics, they ruffle and ravel a little bit. I always tell people, try to get stuff that doesn't ravel too much. Okay, so see how it's starting to come to life? All right, I'm gonna do one more little accent. Let's try a different shape to see what it looks like. So I'm gonna do triangles up under the eyelid with my metallic marker. And the great thing is, it is your design. So triangles, they don't have to be perfect. And one more here, and I'm gonna show you how that looks. All right, here we go. So see how that's coming to life? All righty. So don't forget Annie Ruth's Community Art Connections. So African inspired masks. I love to see you guys post or tag me as you begin to create your artwork. And hey, make it a great day. As I sign off in all my podcasts and everything like that, I'm gonna blow you guys a kiss. I want you to catch that kiss and rub it in. And I'll see you next time on Annie Ruth's Community Art Connections. Y'all be good, okay? All righty.